Hi there, this is Billy Burley with Courthouse USA, and today we will be reviewing ValueArmor Standard for Oklahoma. ValueArmor is a web-based product that provides easy access to statewide commercial data and sales information. ValueArmor Oklahoma was created in partnership with Property Records Preservation, who provides the parcel information and the local knowledge. Through that partnership, we are making over 112,000 commercial records available through ValueArmor. You'll notice these large circles on the map with numbers in them. What those represent are clusters. So what we do is we group points within close proximity together into single clusters so that we don't clutter the map all at once. You'll notice as I hover over one of these clusters, like that one right there, you'll see a blue boundary box. That represents the geographic extent of those 9,000 points. Also notice as I zoom in, the map starts to dynamically decluster. And eventually you'll start to see points pop up. These points are color-coded to this top chart. So this yellow is urban commercial. By clicking a cluster, you'll notice a grid view pops up of those points within that cluster. This grid view works similar to Excel. You can click any heading and sort by that heading. You can also export this directly to Excel. If you click on a single point, you'll see all the information associated with that parcel. Okay, now let's zoom out. The other thing you notice when you look at the application are these charts all around the periphery of the map. These charts is really where the magic happens. This is where you get the cross-filtering capabilities that allows you to explore data using multiple charts simultaneously. And I'll show you what we mean. So if you click on urban commercial, maybe pick a couple sales years, the square footage, and maybe even age, you'll see how very quickly, just by point and clicking, you can filter down to exactly what you're looking for. You'll also notice the sales ratio chart changes dynamically as you make selections. It allows you to really hone in on parcels that may have a high or low sales ratio. So you're looking for outliers in the data. Okay, now let's clear that selection and look at some real examples. We're going to hit Reset All to reset all of our filters. Okay, now let's zoom in and start with one county. Let's look at Atoka County. So I click the county. Now I see I've got 378 points in Atoka County. And let's look at the ones that have sold recently. Let's pick, let's say, the last 3 sales years. And then we can review the sales ratio chart. And so maybe we're looking for ones that are under-assessed or over-assessed based on sales ratio. And that's the sales ratio compared to the appraised value. So all we have to do then is let's click a couple of these low sales ratios, and we can click some of the high ones. And now we've identified 17 that have a sales ratio that may be off. And sometimes there's a reason for that, and then sometimes it's just a flag that there is something that needs to be reviewed about those points. So at this point I can zoom out, put them all in one cluster. I can review them side by side. I can sort by sales ratio. I can see there are some that are very low, and there are some that are very high. You can also look at them each individually. And here we'll notice this particular one. It's 29 years old. The sales price was $8,000. However, it's on the books for $5,900. So that's one that would be under appraised, and that's why it's got a 0.73 sales ratio attached to it. Now, let's look at a different example. Let's clear our filters. We'll come back to Atoka County. And let's look for something specific. So we're looking for specific property types to review. Let's say we're looking for urban commercial. And let's say we want to go a little bit more detailed than just urban commercial. So if we click this C tab, there are additional charts here on the C tab. And let's say we want to look for occupancy of retail stores. So we flip back around, there's 9 of them. Now let's see if there's any that have sold in the last couple of years. And there's 1. So in the last 3 years, Atoka has only had 1 commercial sale of a retail store. That can be problematic if you're then having an appeal on that property or other properties of that type because you have no other comps in your jurisdiction. This is where ValueArmor really shines. That I simply have to deselect the one county, and you'll see immediately I now have 219 comparable properties to choose from, some of which are right over the county boundaries that I would never have known about. So what we'll do is we'll click Atoka again, and let's just click the counties around us, the bordering counties, and now I've got 12 fairly close comparable properties to help me either justify my value, help me fight an appeal, or help me adjust the value to where it should be. That's, again, where the power of ValueArmor comes in. Okay, let's look at another feature. We're going to reset all of our filters again. And sometimes our clients like to get a little bit more exact on the geographic area they're searching, more so than just a county by county, but sometimes we're looking at corridors. So I'll show you how we can do that. What we're going to do is we're going to use the Spatial Search feature. We're going to click that, and you can draw a polygon, a freehand polygon around a corridor. So maybe it's this highway right here that goes right through these 3 counties. And that's the area you want to define to look for your comps, because they're all going to be fairly similar. And as I close that loop, now I've got this geographic area where everything I do, every filter I make is only going to filter within that area. Here we've got 813 points. Now we have 693 urban commercial. Let's see if we have any sales. And we have a few in each county. So here we go. Now we've got 5 of them spread across 3 counties that have sold recently and that are between 5,000 and 10,000 square feet. Let's go through 1 or 2 more quick examples. So we're going to come back and look at the whole state. Let's go looking for something specific. So you can start with any chart you want and then kind of filter down from there. So this time we're going to go straight to occupancy. And let's look at something like daycare. Click apply. I flip around back to the map. Now you'll see we have 166 daycares across the state. Perhaps we're looking for ones that have sold in the last few years. And now you can see there's 15 of them. And you'll notice the sales ratio chart changed. So I can even look at specific occupancy types and see how they are doing statewide or in my county based on sales ratios. And what we're looking for is, as you know, that typical bell curve. And we don't really have that in this case. In fact, the ratio where they should be is a little bit lower. Whereas we've got some on the high side, we've got some on the low side, we've got some really high. So daycares are potentially a property type that may need to be reviewed on why they're so inconsistent when it comes to sales ratios. Something else to note with the C tab is you'll notice this data grid. This data grid also works like Excel, so you can sort by sales ratios, you can sort by sales price. It also has a little map pin here. So if you click that map pin and then flip around to the map, it actually zooms into that particular point. And then you can see the information about that parcel. Let's go through one more example to show how you might search by owner name. So what we did with owner name is, for example, Walmart. Walmart is called something different in every county, and sometimes it's called something different in the same county. Sometimes it's Walmart with a dash, sometimes it's Walmart store 123. So what we do is we go through and we standardize the owner names to make it more user-friendly, so that we ensure that every Walmart is called the same to make it easier for you. So let's type in Walmart. And then you'll see we have 147 Walmarts across the state. You can also see by this chart, some of them have sold in the last few years. Let's try a different one. Maybe you're looking for home improvement centers. So I want to do this because you can show that you can stack them. So if I'm looking for Lowe's home centers, we can click apply, and now we'll see there's 27 Lowe's. And let's say we also want to compare those to Home Depots. There's Home Depot USA. And there we go. So there's the 40 Lowe's and Home Depots. You can see they're concentrated in the east part of the state there. Now I have access to all that information. So that is a very brief look at ValueArmor for Oklahoma. As you can imagine, there's a lot more examples we can walk through. There's a lot more combinations of filters and charts to help you find exactly what you're looking for. We also have ways to select counties, to filter on site address, we also have some tips to help remind you of things you want to do. That's ValueArmor. It's available through the Hexagon Marketplace. I will leave a link in the description box below this video to give you more information. Thank you and have a great day.